Hey everybody, it's Alera. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me, clicking, coming back, checking it out, all the things. It is late in the week. It is Saturday, the 35th, the 31st of May. It's been a long week. It's been a very long week. I got a dog. So it was kind of one of those, not necessarily spur of the moment. My husband and I had been talking. He had brought up the idea of getting another dog, and I feel really bad, but because he brought it up and we had, talked about some things, and I was like, what the heck? Let me just get on here and look. And I got into one of the rehoming sites for my state. And I don't know, I looked for a couple of days and I saw a post about this dude right here. And he was on the rescue list for this particular shelter, which basically means he's got very limited time. And reading through the description, I didn't really see any red flags right off the bat, just that he was in he's highly stressed. Like, it's the shelter that's kind of, I don't know, right, par for the course. So my husband and I talked, and I was like, I'm really sorry, I'm not trying to usurp the whole, because he wanted to pick the next dog. Well, he got to name the dog. So that's Taz. He is about 2 years old, so he's very high energy still. Excuse you. So hopefully he's not too distracting, because he is kind of everywhere. We've been out for a walk, we've played, and yeah. Anywho, so, and I tweaked my neck. This happens every so often, but I'm in a lot of pain, which I've put minimal makeup on like 3 days in a row trying to get this going, and I've been in too much pain. I'm still in too much pain, but I'm tired of putting it off. So this is going to be kind of another regular update, simply because I just kept forgetting to do clips. I do not have house guests anymore. I wish them all the best of luck. So let's see. Let's get started. So if I did take a couple of before pics, but if I don't, I'll have to insert pictures from last video. So first off, we have Peony Tapestry. This is a Dimensions Gold Collection, but it's a needlepoint kit. So it's on a 14 count, I believe. Oh, yes, 14 count canvas that's printed, as per usual with a needlepoint kit. And I just have been working, so here's that. And I've just been working some more in these, I can't remember what they called it. I even looked. I don't know, sideways crosses. So hopefully you can see the before picture, but I brought it out basically from here, and I did 209 stitches total. That's I do like these, because like this particular stitch, simply because I don't have to think yet about where to put the next stitch, like I will have to with these. So I'm pretty happy with where that got to. But I was glad it was only 200 stitches, because I was kind of over it by the time I hit that 200. And next up was a new start. This is Rainbow Pegasus by Artisy, I think. Let me find it. I do like the clips better, simply because you're not sitting here watching me trying to find a pattern buried in the haystack. It's Rainbow Dreams. Here it is. Yes, this is an Artisy piece. Artwork is by Jan Patrick Krasny. It is 300 by 216 wide, so it's not tiny, but it's not super huge either. And I'm in, I haven't started the wing yet, but I did start in the upper left-hand corner, and I'm already to where those wings get into the sky there. It's not like fully fleshed out yet, but we got there. We're doing the color thing again. It's fun. I got a total of 295 stitches, so not a ton at all. And I mean, like, this thing is tiny. This is on 32 count even weave, and that's it. That's how big it's going to be. So this is actually the wing, like, very minimally outlined right there. So very pretty blues coming in so far. Some real light greens coming in. And I don't remember, I think I put this on the diagonal, but yeah, and that first like row is where I would pick a color and then stitch it out until I got to the end of it and then pick the next color. I'm doing this 1/1 full cross on that 32 count even weave. It's so tiny. So little. Okay. And the next one I did was the that candy cane from Cross Stitch & Country Crafts magazine, and I did get it finished. Now, where'd it go? Oh, it's on the floor. Crap. It must have gotten knocked off. Hang on. Oh. Okay, found it. I put this on a 14 count opalescent Aida, and it's done. Ta-da! With back stitch, total stitches was 290. Bless you. He's a nut. It was 290 with the back stitching, plus back stitching. Really? He's such a goober. Bless you. Are you done? He's throwing his shoe around a second ago. Put that in my finished bag for warming in a minute. For fully finish it someday, right? Someday. I did also, so he climbed in my lap the other day and fell asleep. I've never been much for let the animals dictate what you do, but I did not have the heart to move him. He's had some stress. So I pulled out this next one. I almost was like, should I even bother showing it? But, you know, whatever, it's fine. I pulled out Present Gnome from 4-Stitch Love on Etsy, 4stitch.com. This one. And it's probably my thread because I do mix makers of thread. So you can see I've been working in this ribbon, and there's 2 different shades of this yellow in the ribbon. Yeah, you cannot see that shading in mine at all. So that's where it was the last one Dude. Hopefully he does not knock into the table that my camera's on. It finished off this color here. So, did I tell you we named him Taz? Yes, the same one from Looney Tunes. Sorry. It was Amazon making our True Proof leash delivery. So yeah, I added stitches, and you cannot, like, I pulled the 2 colors together. You can't see the difference. So that's kind of disappointing. But again, I don't think it's the pattern. I think it's where my thread comes from. One's probably DMC and one's probably like a China thread or something. So beware if you do choose to stray from DMC that the shades aren't going to be perfect. I did get some work done on Dragons of the Sabbat. Artwork by Ann Stokes. Charted by Pain Free Crafts. It is retired. It is 755 by 800. So it's a big one. And I'm just working on filling in the black around the dragons. All the outside black is done. All the inside black is done. And we're just working on the dragons now. I got in a whopping 341 stitches. And it's just working on filling this part in. So we will see if I get the rest of this filled in this coming week. We will see. I'm not holding my breath. Because I'll be honest, Taz is a very energy consumptive. And then I could have worked on it for 2 days, but I didn't want to. I was falling asleep enough on just the one color as it is. So the next one is a supersized max color from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Raven Phelan. On Heaven and Earth, she is Michelle Lee Phelan. And this is a light weaver. He is 706 by 999. There we go. Gorgeous. I've been working on the blues in that upper left-hand corner. And I did get, well, here, I'll show you. I got 600 stitches done. And I did get this section done. And I moved the Q-snap because now I'm working in this area. Hopefully you can, there. Hopefully you can see the difference between the two, but that just, it turned out so beautiful. So beautiful. And then, yeah, just started filling in colors over here. And I think I'm going to stick, now I don't know if this is going to be true for the entire piece, but, okay. So yeah, I'm kind of just planning on moving across the edge here, filling in the blues along the top. Get your big old head out from underneath the table. Okay, and is that all the stitching? That's the stitching that I got done this week. Between the pain and the new pup, it was just not happening. It was not happening much at all this week. So, things that have happened. I made a purchase. So, and I did, I worked on Southwest Carousel, which is my out and about, like when I'm camping, and we had people over last weekend. And I worked on that for like a thread. Not even worth showing you. But I did stop, and the gal that was staying here, she had been curious to maybe try some cross stitching too. We did not get a chance to actually get into it, but my little one wanted one as well. He was so cute, and he did start it. And we did a few stitches. He did about 5 stitches before he got bored of it, which is fine. But I found this Jan Lynn kit at Walmart, which I got this Jan Lynn Love Is kit. It is 14 count Aida, 10 by 10. Love is when you look in someone's eyes and see everything you need. And yes, I'm cliche and cheesy, and it reminded me of my husband, so I got it. And it was like $5 with tax, not plus tax, with tax. It's crazy. So that'll get thrown in the pile of things to start. So, oh, and then I have an exciting that happened. Look at me and my stiff neck. So when I was making bags for StitchCon, really, you better not break that chair. Dad will get mad. I realized that I needed a secondary color scheme for my logo. And then, so I had I have a graphic artist friend, had him do some adjustments, and I figured while I had him on the line, I would have him look into a business card design for me so that I can stick these in with, you know, everything, whatever. And here it is. Ta-da! And then all my deets. Now, this is on vacation. This is always up. This is on vacation while the eggs are at StitchCon and I need to get more stock in. This exists, but I don't think I haven't made it like public or anything yet because I'm still working on it. And then that's obviously Instagram. This is specific to the business. I have my like Alera 918 is the one for when I actually do post pictures of in progress. And then of course that's my YouTube. I'm very excited about that. I didn't make any notes, obviously. So this is off, you know, shooting from the hip here. And I did forget to mention last week, a little bit of housekeeping before we get into what's happening with Monopoly. That if you did not watch my Stitch With Me, that was my update 2 videos ago. Totally fine. But I did talk about the Facebook group not the one that I just showed you, but it's one skein at a time. It is now linked below. Excuse me. I'll link it below. But that's just kind of a community hangout kind of thing where it's an opportunity for me to get to know you guys a little bit more. You know, I have all you see me and you hear me talk about life, but obviously, and I try to interact with you in the comments, but it's not the same as like being able to see what you're working on. And I know there's a ton of groups out there for, you know, other Flosstubers have put out and everything. So totally understand if you're like, that is one too many. I cannot do another one. But I would love to have you. I don't want it to be like a restrictive, only post your cross stitch stuff. Like this is life, right? I do life on this channel. So why wouldn't I do life in my group? So if you are on Facebook and you have room for another group, feel free to come on in. Like I said, it's a nice way for me to interact with you that's not limited to what we can do in the comments here. So that is that. And so the gathering thread that I spoken about before, Jade's from the 310 Stitcher, her retreat. So there are still spots open. So if you are looking for a retreat that's maybe a little bit more in the backyard, because it is, if you're in the US, obviously, more in the backyard of Canada, it is being held in Ottawa. And I'm looking forward to it. August 23rd to 25th, I believe. I will make sure to link the website for it down below. He has not barked like this all day long. And then I start recording and I've been interrupted, 3 times now? Oy. So anyways, yeah, the Gathering Thread retreat. And Jade has so kindly asked if I wanted to vend. Now, I'm in the US, she's in Canada. It took me a week just to get in touch with somebody at their border services to get some more information on what kind of hoops I have to jump through. So, and there are a lot of hoops. So we will see. Take 500. I don't even remember what I was saying. Hoops, Canada, whatever. So I have things to do if I want to do that. But what I was saying was that there are still spots open. If you're interested, go check that out. And yeah, hope to see you in August. Although this crazy guy, as of right now, I know I cannot leave him in the house by himself. He's a chewer, like very much a chewer. We've got some training to do, for sure. And there are still some concerns as far as his compatibility, so we'll see. We will see. I'm just glad he's not on the list anymore. All right, so as for Monopoly, my plan is to go ahead and film the whole rest of the round because I found that I was actually getting quite annoyed I mean, it's still only once a week that I was having to get stuff out, but it was like one thing getting moved and still having to, whatever. I just decided to do the whole round, right? And then it will take as long as it takes to get through a round. So I will have the stuff in the description box as far as who has how many stitches. And yeah, it'll take as long as it takes, because my plan as of right now, excuse me, is still to get through some focus pieces, which has not been fantastic the last couple of weeks. But I still want to work on some of my focus pieces, and I think with the exceptions of dragons, because I had kind of a weekly stitch goal loosely in my mind. That hasn't been happening. But with that exception, I think maybe I'll aim for like 500-ish on each piece before I rotate it out. I don't know. I don't want to make a lot of commitments as far as my stitching goes right now. So I'll have pieces ready to go as far as Monopoly. Like, I'll know what I'm working on, but as far as how long it takes me to work on those, they'll get done when they get done, right? So, okay, with that being said, if you would like to skip the Monopoly round, it is a little bit longer because, like I said, I finished off the entire round this time. So only one token did not actually get seen this time, which was Earth, which was last week. So it's like 15 minutes long. I don't know. I'll put the timestamp right here for if you want to skip it. So yeah, I will do that. I will get my Monopoly board rewritten. That's what it looks like from this week with all the glares. So, and then I will pull stuff and put away stuff. We'll see what is coming up, and hopefully you don't mind. Like I said, if you're not really interested in what's coming up, that's totally fine too. Very, very much understandable, especially if it starts getting a little repetitive with stuff that I haven't gotten to. I'm still gonna like, here's where I'm at, here's where I'm at, here's where I'm at. I think, is that all I wanted to go over? I think so. All right, so here's the round of Monopoly, and then we'll see what I'm working on. Okay, welcome to the rest of round 10. We're going to start with air down here. Let's get right into it, because I'm sure this is probably going to end up being a little bit longer. Not a little bit, but quite a bit longer than what we have been doing. So we have a bus token, no doubles, an extra roll, and what is that? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Excuse me. All right. Now we're going to be passing London Bridge, and we are crossing on rolls of 9 or more. So I got to bring in the other. Let me swing you up just a little bit. All right. So 1, 2, 3. No. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it was an odd roll, so we went straight through. This is not owned, so this is Culverstrut for 480. I need to shift you just a bit so I can pause easily. And I realized while I was paused that this doesn't actually have I had to white out whatever I messed up, and I never actually wrote that down, so I'll have to look that up at some point. Okay, so we have our bus token next. I think I'm just going to go ahead and move to community chest. We haven't done one of those in a while. So, advance to South Street. If owned, stitch it. If unowned, stitch it. If owned, stitch normal rent due. Okay, I gotta find South Street. Okay, South Street was back on the main board. and unowned, so we're stitching that for 390. And then I have that one more bonus roll. One die, right? Let me double check. Yep, just one die. So here we go. And that's one. So Broad Street, that's kind of cool, for 390. Okay, so we have 3 kind of high stitch counts for air. I didn't last week because it was so easy, but I will put in the description box the breakdown since I'm doing all of them again. So next up is Fire. He's way over here, so let me go ahead and rotate the board. There we go, and then here we go. All right, we've got 8, another bonus roll, and another bus token. So I think that's just if you land on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Checker Cab Company, unowned. I think we'll go ahead and do the same thing. Just head to the next card. Oops, sorry for bumping you. Ooh, advance to the stock exchange, which is actually back here again. If you pass a pay corner, also stitch that piece. So being as how you don't move backwards, we are going to pass Payday over here, which stitch 300 on Payday. Payday 300. And then stock exchange, which I will have to double check on. I think I just can pick one to buy, but I need to double check. Okay, so yeah, I get to buy one stock. I think I'm just gonna move through the stack here, depending on whoever lands on what. That's the share they're gonna buy for now. I mean, it's just one, so it's not a huge deal. And American Motors. Okay, that's funny. This one says Acme Motors. That one says America. Does that American? Is that what it stands for? Anyway, 150. So that's going to be stock 150. And then I am going to go ahead and buy a cab stand for this cab company, just because I landed on it, so why not? Okay, and last Fire is that one extra bonus roll of 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we're going to have 8 Mile Road. This is the first property off of this one. It is all of $30. Even though I've got a ton to do already, I'm not putting 30 stitches into a piece, so feel free to bump that to anywhere from 30 to 300. That's what I'm going for. 8 Mile, 30 to 300. Anywhere in between that is going to be fine by me. Okay, next up is Water, which is on the second board. Go ahead and rotate it. So Water, where did you go? It's here. She scooted. All right, and okay, so I'm more than likely going to be passing this pyramid scheme square. So it says draw a pyramid card, or stitch out and set your scheme back to 100 as you pass. I don't think anybody has a pyramid scheme yet, but I need to double check. Okay, some of them do, but not Water. So I'm going to grab a pyramid scheme. I need to figure out which one is which. Okay, we are doing yellows. All right, these I think were technically shuffled at one point, but I just had to look at them. So, all right, pyramid scheme grows. Add 250 to your pyramid scheme. So Water now has 250 that I will stitch for. Pyramid. 250. Okay. And yes, I did that sort of prematurely, but that is okay. Now I won't have to stop and do it. Okay, you can't see that, but that's what it landed on. All right, so we have 6 total, a wild scheme card, and another bus token. So we're going to, what did I say, 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kalajanova. For, again, 40 to 400 will be fine by me. And all right, and then keeping up with what we're doing, I can move to Shady Business. And we will, sorry. All right, so I've added court fees of 250 stitches until that can come off. So that just gets thrown on my notes. Okay. One wild scheme card. Or wild, I don't know, what is this, wild dice? Another Shady Business. New mayor elected. All tokens must immediately return any unbuilt public works cards to the deck. Oh man, I didn't even get a chance to build them. So I think I had one. I had one somewhere. I'll find it after I'm done recording. Okay. Let me make a note of that so I don't forget. Return public works cards. Okay. Discard pile. Wrong one. Okay. That concludes Water's movements. So next we are up to Magic, which is on the other board. Okay, so here we are here. Okay, lots of pips. And I need to double check Mr. Monopoly. I think that one's... Two shakes. Okay, that won't have any bearing until somebody has stocks. Like, I have one with stocks right now. All right, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Yes, 10. 10, and we are on an even roll, so we're moving up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gas Company. I'm just double checking if I have to do anything when I pass these, but nope. So Gas Company is going to be bought for 150. Okay, I went ahead and grabbed the public works buildings that I had to turn in. There was only one that could have been built, so another lesson that as soon as I get cards that can be used, I'm gonna have to start using them. So that was it for Magic, just one. So Chaos is next up and last, and he is on the other board. Here. Okay. Okay, we've got a bonus move, and Chaos actually, what is that? That is, oh, that's stock, that's right, cancel. I need that, come back. Okay. tablet wasn't cooperating. That was annoying. All right, so no doubles again. 13. No stocks and bonus move. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So High Street is unowned and will be for 100 stitches. And all right, and this one allows me to move to the next unowned property, which I'm taking as this one. So Via del Corso for 140. Man, Magic and Chaos got to get with the program, because you can kind of see a visual of what properties what owns. And I know they joined the party late, but man, he's got some catching up to do. Okay, and I believe that does conclude round 10 of Monopoly. I am obviously not going to get, well, maybe not obviously, I'm not going to get all these stitched. So I will just keep putting the stitch values in the description box for next time. I need a thingy. And we will have another Monopoly round once I get through everything. I think my goal is going to be like 3 days of Monopoly stitching, and then the rest is going to be dedicated to focus projects. So I will get through what I get through on Monopoly, and you know, of course, that's subject to my own whim. So yeah, I will sticky everything down and maybe get some strategy for the next time written down as well, so I don't keep losing cards that I don't use. So, all right, I will pull projects and we will see what's going to happen. That might get a little repetitive if I have to show the same projects week after week, but it's more of a visual, in case I forget to take before photos. I know I can just go to the previous video and grab a screenshot, which makes it so much easier on my life. So, all right, see you in a sec. Okay, so there we have it. Round 10 is done. I know I've forgotten to mention a couple of things. I thought of it as I was wandering around getting stuff done, like we had dinner and everything. Because like I said, it's late in the day and late in the week. And I cannot remember what it was that I'd forgotten to talk about. Oh well. It'll come to me maybe. Possibly. So just as a recap, Air has 1,260 stitches. Fire has 930 to 1,200, depending on the range that we talked about for the 8 Mile Road one. Water, again, has a range of 290 to 650. Magic is 150, and Chaos is 240. I'm telling you, Magic and Chaos are slackers when it comes to number of things that get landed on. Okay, so we have a total of 13 pieces. It's bugging me that I can't remember what I was going to say. I don't know. Okay. One of these days I'll get it together. There are a lot of new starts in this, and actually a decent amount of focus pieces as well, which I'm pretty happy about. So I think we're not going to go through every single Monopoly piece this time, because I know I'm not going to get to them all, and it'd be silly to waste your time looking at stuff that I'm not going to stitch next week. So we'll go through the first 7. So Once Upon a Time is an Ann Stokes piece by Heaven and Earth Designs. It is one of the pieces that I've had the longest in Pattern Keeper. I love this one. We're going to be starting in boring background A lot of tree, a lot of blur for quite some time. That's okay. I have not gridded the fabric. I do have the fabric cut, at least for this one. There is one in here that I do not have fabric cut for. Two in here that I don't have fabric cut for. The other one is, or the second one is Veil Nebula. Now this is one of my focus pieces. So you will have seen this before if you're not new to the channel. This is a supersized max color piece. It is a NASA image. Oops. Here. And I am mostly working in the black. I forgot to pull it out, sorry. Hang on. There it is. So that is where I'm starting from. So I'll probably just continue to work in the black on this section and then go back up. This is gonna, you're not probably even gonna be able to tell when that gets in. You can kind of see a little bit what's happening here. That's a continuation of that. So it's gonna be really dark all the way through once that gets stitched in. I will just stick that for there for now. Let's see. The next one is Another New Start by Mill Hill. It is a Christmas ornament called Royal Plum. I want to try and take the cover photo out because it's in plastic. Oh, no, that's going to pull. That's going to pull the whole thing out. Just kidding. That's not too bad. Right there. So lots of beads. It is double-sided, so it's going to be more stitching than it seems at first glance. Another Christmas ornament coming up is out of this book, 100 Christmas Ornaments. And it's going to be this one, Precious Puppy. Super cute. That might get close to done. It's like 300 stitches that's going to go into it, so it'll be really close. And then we have Sampler 231, which is this one. And I did do a center start with those flowers. And this is that piece that's going to be mostly metallic floss. Metallic and I think variegated. And I did, because I just have like a grab bag of floss with it. I didn't really assign anything. I have it. I have the mock-up printed out. It's to help me kind of figure out where colors are going to go. So hopefully that won't, because I have a tendency to not see the pattern for the stitches, if that makes sense, when I'm doing something like this. So I need a visual mock-up reference to make sure that I don't overstitch into another color that I had planned or whatnot. And I don't think it really matters. It's basically symmetrical. So I will continue working on the green and finishing off the blue roses. That's only, oh no, that's going to get 300. So that should be quite a decent chunk that we'll have worked on once that comes out. I am going to try and do my clips again for next week's video. And it will be a relatively short video next week simply because it's Saturday already. Although, to be honest, I don't know what kind of schedule I'm looking at. My husband is leaving tomorrow morning for vacation, and then he'll be back for maybe a week of vacation here at home, staycation. So I don't know my words. The pain is making it hard to think, I'll be honest. I don't know what kind of recording schedule, if I'm going to try and stick to my Wednesdays, if I'll skip this coming Wednesday and just go to the next Wednesday. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure when you guys will see me next. It will be relatively It'll either be this Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, or Thursday, somewhere around there, or the week after. So if you don't see me, that's why. It's simply because I'm like, it's Saturday already. I feel like it'll be silly to record again on Wednesday. But we'll see. We'll see what I have done. And then Autumn Quakers. I assigned this to the cab stands. So I talked about, if you watch the actual Monopoly round, I'm going to build something on one of the properties. Well, that's kind of like, do I use the property or do I take advantage of it and spin in one of my in the wings projects? And that's kind of what I ultimately decided. Anytime I build a cab stand on one of the cabs, this one will come out. So this is Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I am using the Valdani threads and this really pretty yellow. It is not the called for, but it's pretty close, yet a little bit brighter, which is what I was going for. So I am excited to work with those new threads. New to me threads. And last but not least, I don't have fabric cut for this piece, but it is one that I've wanted to make sure got into the works that I want to do for my husband eventually. And it is this Star Wars movie poster black and whiteness. I do not remember. Cross Stitch V designed it on Etsy. I honestly don't even know if this is even still available, to be honest, guys. So, because let's be real, it's probably not licensed. I've had this for a while. But, frankly, Disney's okay as far as their artwork goes. So, and then Dragons at the Spot, of course. You've seen where that is. Gypsy Firefly is also a focus that is supposed to be getting worked on. Oh, I guess I should show you actually what it looks like, huh? Have I skipped any of those? I feel like I've skipped some. Gypsy Firefly. Swipe here. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Amy Stewart. Yep. Just working in that upper left-hand tree and sky. Things will be coming out of Q-Snaps, and oh, that's what I was going to talk about. By overwhelming votes, you guys definitely voted to see Face of a Mermaid come out every week. So once she comes back up in rotation, I will just keep swinging her in every week. Or I may grab her this week. I don't know. You know, things are up in the air. It's okay. And then the last time I looked, actually, let me look real quick. It was still, I wouldn't say neck and neck for the poll for, what's that thing we do in the mid-year Whip Parade? So I still haven't, yeah, see, it's really close as far as I'm concerned. 61% of people want everything shown, and 39% of people want just what I've stitched on so far. Y'all are making it hard. Because that's, to me, that's close enough to 50-50. Yeah, I may do a spreadsheet alphabetically of both and do 2 different videos depending on how long they are, of course. I can only record so long before my phone starts giving me fits about, you don't have enough space to do all that you want to do. So yeah, it could still be 4 videos. I will just separate those 4 videos into, here's what I've done this year, and here's what I've done, and here's everything. Like here's everything this year, here's all the rest. So that if you don't want to watch those that's fine. You don't have to, obviously. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody who's taken the time out to go click on the poll and, yeah, put your 2 cents in. So, yeah, just because it is so close, I think I might go ahead and just separate them just to try to make everybody happy. You can never make everybody happy, but you know, you can do your best to get everybody in there. So that's what we're starting from. I don't remember if I was working diagonals. I'm pretty sure I was. So, I don't know. Probably just come back down. I might just try and work on getting this section filled in and then come back up this way. That sounds kind of like a plan. And then last but not least, if I get to it this week, big if, big if, is, nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one, this one. Summertime Fairy. Free Patterns by Visa, however you want to say it. I did have somebody ask me about getting this pattern, specifically from that group into Pattern Keeper. It's not hard, but it's not easy either. They are not fully compatible. So this is actually her mock-up from Pixel Stitch, I think is where she gets it done. Yeah, she does hers through pixelstitch.net. I'm in the upper left-hand corner, obviously, because that's where I love to start. Work from here. So you can see this is pretty much solidly filled in, and we're getting there. I can't say I'm working in diagonals with this one because it's just wherever I have highlighted for that particular color trying to get filled in. Because when you input her patterns in here from Pixel Stitch, you have to put a grid on every single page, which gets really tedious, especially with, you know, I mean, this pattern is like 48, yeah, it's 48 pages that I had to do. Boudreaux was the same way because I created him on pixelstitch.net. So I say Boudreaux because he's part of the list that I'll go over next time. And then after you get the grids in, the symbols aren't searchable. You can't just be like, up triangles, show me where it all is. You're still basically working as if it's a paper pattern because you visually have to find all the symbols, but you can zoom in, zoom out. You know, you still have capabilities of marking everything off pretty well. Markup RXP did me dirty one too many times. So I've actually uninstalled it and canceled my subscription. I was over it. I had high hopes for it. The potential's there for sure. Don't get me wrong, and it does work beautifully for some patterns, but others, unless you're keeping an eye on every single pattern that you put in, to me it wasn't worth it. So anyways, I would rather it be my fault that I missed a stitch or screwed up a color than the program telling me this is what you put there and not having it be it. So so that's what's on the agenda for this coming however long. Again, I hope you don't mind that, you know, some of these might get shown multiple times in a week, 2 videos in a row, maybe even 3 videos in a row, just so that I don't have to go back and find before shots, because that's gotten aggravating, I'm sure, as I was showing pictures and editing in, and I was swearing a lot. I think that's about it for this week. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. So again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come say hi and watch the fuzz fly around my videos. I really appreciate you joining me and yeah, taking the time out. So I hope you have the rest of your stitching week. We only have 2 weeks until I consider it mid-year whip parade. So I do try to, maybe that's what I will do. Do you want to see let me show you, you know what? let me go ahead and show you the rest of Monopoly stitching, because I think what's going to happen is, sorry, I'm thinking out loud and trying to figure this out as like, that's a clock. I don't want the clock. I want the calendar. Because if I were to film next week, that's the 4th. Tell you what, I think I'm going to go ahead and show you the rest of Monopoly stitching. And I think what's going to happen is I will stitch until I'm done until I'm just like, okay, it's time to film. And then I will show everything as an update, and then we'll have our mid-year whip parade, because that's about 2 weeks from now. Is that what I want to do? Because I'm telling you what, guys, by the time this gets uploaded, it's going to be tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So you'll get my update for however many of these I get through, and then we'll do a mid-year whip parade. That's what's going to happen. That'll happen. Yeah, I feel like that's a good. Crap, now I have to pause and go grab books. I feel like this is bonus content because I feel like a lot of people have left already after me going, yeah, that was it. Okay, so Believe in Yourself. This is both of the Stitchorovia pieces. I got 2 Stitchorovia pieces got called for Monopoly, and they are both out of this Cross Stitch for the Soul book from Emma Congdon, also known as Stitchorovia. So this first one is Believe in Yourself. Oh, man down. Which is this one. And the other one is that one's going to be New Start. This one is a work in progress, which is The Best Is Yet to Come. Ooh, there. Here we go. Really love her pieces. I gotta put that back in because that was my working copy. Okay, and Best Is Yet to Come. Let me find that one. I forgot how good this looks. Oh, that looks so good. I'm happy to get this back out. Ah, so good. And okay, and then we also have the Swans. I'm really excited about this one coming out. I mean, this is a relatively often. Words are really hard, guys. It's not a headache, but my neck hurts bad enough that it might as well be a really bad migraine. Swans, Cottage Garden Samplings. And let's see if I can find which one this is on quickly. Sweet. And there is the starting spot. Sorry, this is kind of washed out. The lights don't like the blues on whites and stuff of this one. Yeah, you can. There you go. So, all right. And again, I mentioned Boudreaux, who also got pulled. He's a focus piece, but getting pulled means that he gets a little extra love. Where's he at? There he is. Again, this is a picture of a friend of ours puppers that passed a little over 2 years ago now. Time flies. This is one that I charted on Pixel Stitch. That's Boudreaux. He was a good dog. Oh. And this is where he's at. We'll continue working these in. So hopefully this little section, that's what I'm hoping for to be gone and worked in. Darling Dragonling has also gotten called. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Here we go. I don't remember if I've started this one. Oh. I don't know that I have. No, this is uncharted territory. So I will need to grid that as well. I have a lot of gridding and fabric cutting to do. That's okay. And then last but not least, this is a Bucilla kit called Afternoon Nap. He's so cute. And I do have this one a small start. I mean, it's a small piece, so let's see. You can see his ears here, and I worked my way up to the top, so I will continue working in from the corner. Okay, so yeah, I will work on these until close to mid-month, and then it will be whip parade time. So I will probably do a Thursday recording. I think that's like the 13th. I'll probably record that Thursday and then not stress about taking like 2 days to record the whip parade. So I will post around the 13th for the update. I will go ahead and post as soon as I get the whip parades done. There's gonna be a lot of videos kind of coming at you, because what I'm hoping to do is record the next round of Monopoly when I do the update. We'll see how far I get into those before I commit to that. And then I will do the whip parade kind of like as a midweek videos, and then play it by ear as to the next update. So you might only get 2 updates from me in June. Maybe 3, I guess. Probably 3. 3 towards the end. I don't know. We're going to play it by ear. You know me, I can be kind of all over the place when it comes to recording schedule. So it is what it is. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I will quit jabbering my jaw and let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and happy June. All right, take care, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye.